You suffer from anxiety, from depression, maybe even chronic pain? Well, listen up. Truth Be Told is going to tell you about a breakthrough program built on over 100 years of therapies used in America's returning veterans to help you successfully overcome PTSD, anxiety attacks, pain, and depression. The secret proven in study after study. Music therapy. The effects of music are nothing short of amazing. From strokes to PTSD, music has been shown to improve the quality of life. Now, one of the latest music therapy programs being used in America's veteran hospitals can be yours to experience for free at home and to help your own anxiety attacks, pain, and depression. Or just relax after a hard day. It's called Whole Tones. It takes music therapy to a new level. This revolutionary program makes use of specifically designed frequencies that have been shown to stimulate your body's natural healing power down to a cellular level. If it works for battle-scarred vets, can it work for you? Well, experience it for yourself for free at sweetwholetones.com. Like Tony Sweet, that's SWEET. Go to sweetwholetones.com. Now enjoy the show. Do you suffer from anxiety, from depression, maybe even chronic pain?
What's your thoughts on government cover-ups or covert societies attempting to control humanity? Do you believe in ancient astronauts, intergalactic communication, or extraterrestrial visitations? Ever had an experience with disembodied spirits or the paranormal universe? Are these subjects fact or fiction? Each week, Tony and Eddie explore these unbelievable realities and beyond. Exclusively on Truth Be Told.
Hello and welcome back to another great episode of Truth Be Told with Tony and Eddie. I'm your host, Tony Sweet, and with me now, the world-renowned psychic, Eddie Connor.
Hey, Tony. One of my favorite subjects is talking about fantastic ways to improve our lives, especially through spirituality and self-development.
And I totally agree, Eddie. You love to help people empower themselves, and today our guest, Brandi Vale, has the same motivation of helping people develop their authentic selves.
Ooh, I love that. Brandi Vale is a professional and personal development coach and public speaker focused on deepening connection through communication. Her work is based on human energy output, matrix energetics fundamentals, Reiki, integrative neuro-linguistic programming, and mental and emotional release therapy.
Well, we all need a little help now and then.
Speak for yourself,
and
Tony.
I know. And Brandi is also a radio personality like us. But she debuted her show, Get Connected, on the all-new TalkNetwork.com, which is talk radio without corporate collusion.
Let's get started. Please welcome development coach, public speaker, and radio personality, Brandi Vale.
All right. This is Truth Be Told with Tony and Eddie, and I'm Tony Sweet.
I'm Eddie Connor.
And I wanted to make sure he didn't have drinking the water.
Well,
As I was saying it, I saw the water go in. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, we have a great guest for you. Now, all three of us are radio hosts, and this is going to be a good time, okay? But she's also a personal and professional development coach, and I'm excited to have her here because so many people, especially in Los Angeles and well, everywhere, sometimes need that extra motivation and spiritually and emotionally and pretty much anything you can think of. So we need to figure out how we can break down those barriers and have a little bit happier life. Mm-hmm. So, Brandi, I want to start, first of all, how you got into this business, because there's always seekers. Mm-hmm. What were you doing to seek this field?
Well, it happened to be a car accident, so I didn't seek that one out.
Oh, they kind of seeked you out.
Yeah, but I always had a background in religion, Christian religion. Oh. And so I got
Where are you from, real quick?
South Florida.
Oh, okay, so you're southern.
Down there.
Down there.
Little small town called Homestead. Homestead and Hurricane Andrew. I don't know if you heard my story, but so the whole community side and the community development started because of a hurricane. And I thought, why does community come together now over a natural disaster? So we'll get into that later.
Okay. Yes. Okay.
But okay, so how did I get started?
Yes.
It's a fun and fascinating story. I was in so much pain after this car accident. This car accident took about 3 years of my life.
3 years?
Yeah, 3 years. I was in a coma for 3 days, not 3 years, 3 days. And then after that, it just was pain, constant pain, quadruple concussion, a speech impediment, just binaural pathways were all jacked up. There was just so much going on. I don't know how I managed to have an event management company during that time. Lots of pills, lots of pills. But after 3 years of just not being able to do yoga, not being able to run, I got pissed off. I got real mad. And I was on my third, I think, CAT scan where the doctor said you have to have a disc replacement.
Oh, hell no.
And then they told me, like, this is not an ordinary surgery. They don't know what will happen after that. So I grabbed my scans.
You're like, I'm not going to be no guinea pig or nothing.
No, I looked at this guy in the face, and I was like, I grabbed the scans, and I said, if my God can create this entire world, this is nothing. So I took the scans. I went home. I took 2 Vicodin, went running, kept on running, and then after that, it was complete. Like I had already chose my path. So for listeners out there, if you're in a position and you're in a healing state right now, it can change. It literally can change overnight. So my practice began. I started doing yoga, started running. Little by little, got off of the Neurontin and the Somas and the Vicodins. It was crazy what I was on. It was just nonsense.
How hard was that?
Was there side effects or withdrawals from getting off of that stuff? Or was your determination
if you consider lessening one pill, then.
Okay.
But I mean, when you're bound and determined to have health again, and it's not fun any longer to take a painkiller, to get rid of pain. It's just like it's mandatory. And I have another calling, so I was granted life one more time, and I had a child at that time. I think he was around 7 when this accident happened. That was the first time that I really fell in love with him.
Really?
I had woken up. I had become this new being. I proclaimed my life. I had stated that this is my truth, and this is what I'm going to do from here on out is I'm going to live life to its fullest, and I do. And at that point, my relationships, I loved myself more. I mean, most of the time, people aren't in love with themselves.
Right.
And especially when you're going through pain and suffering, the whole process of you going through pain and suffering is for you to wake up.
It's true.
Because,
that is true.
We're literally going through dis-ease to tell us to get up. Like, stop BSing and, really live your truth. Like, we came here to live life and be in positive sunshine. Yes, we're going to have downtimes, and we're going to love those downtimes, but not to be stuck in a funnel of just yuck. So needless to say, 3 years of that. And then I went through a mission, and that was a spinal leak.
Girl, was this caused by
This was caused by a phone call by an ex-boyfriend who I thought I would go back to. And that was the cause of the first car accident. So spirit moves in a divine way, right? So if you don't hear the message the first time, there were plenty of messages. Then the message a second time, and then the third time, it will take over your life, and then it will cause something to happen.
Goes from a thump to a car wreck.
Oh, absolutely. Well, here's a fascinating thing about this is a month prior to that, I went downstairs after being in a tumultuous argument, I got to get out of this. How do I get out of this? And I looked up to the sky and I said, God, please get me out of this story. Whose story is this? And I just want to bask in your beauty and your light, and I want to have braids in my hair, and I want to be in a white sundress in the sunlight. I visualized the whole spinning, and at that time I was acting, and so had this book, it had the Bodhi tree on it. And,
right.
And I was like, this is, back in the early 2000s, so not everybody was that conscious at that time.
Right.
And I went to my casting, and I brought this book, and I don't know, something was shifting, and I went home, and we both produced events together. So we were producing an event in Las Vegas, and that's when we went to Las Vegas, and we got into this car accident.
I have to say, the show before, that or this show, and there's similarities.
Yeah.
Billy Fingers was hit by a car and killed. Because of his death, it awoke his sister by him reaching through spirit
from heaven.
It were. But the car accident woke you up spiritually.
Yeah.
that's pretty freaky that we have to.
I love the synchronicity of it, right?
Yeah.
It's so 30 days before this wreck, that's when you had the declaration, I want to be in your light, your love, your sunshine. I want to be happy again. Whose story is this? Get me out of this. And then the car wreck came.
Correct.
Ooh. So now take us fast forward. You're in pain for 3 years after the car wreck, and you're sitting there with the doctor. He's like, we going to jack your spine and your neck up, and good luck with that. Will you sign this release form?
Right.
And you're like, no, sir. I heard everything you said, but I'm really curious about the feeling, what was going on inside of you that gave you what clicked in your head, your heart, and your gut, because it feels like it went boom, all three at one time, and then that would make you know and feel and believe that you could go for that run, that you could walk off the table, that you did have that inner knowing that you were going to be healed. What was it?
I think that doctor was a guiding light. I do. I think by him stating those words, but me seeing his aura, I was already I was already seeing what he was representing to me. And he even had some Buddha hands like in his office. And this is just a medical doctor in his own practice. And so I was seeing this, and I was seeing him. He was an Indian doctor. And, you know, it just clicked. And when he gave me the words that didn't even fit in his mouth, like they didn't match up with what I was seeing, I got pissed off.
Good.
You know, and when I got pissed off, I did come in rage. I like literally grabbed these scans from him because he's like, no, we'll keep them here and we'll, you know, go get another approval for something. And I was like, and I grabbed them. And I just, in that moment, then the heart started. You know, so when you're going through those emotions, and if anybody's familiar with the chakras and how we evolve and the energy starts to open up and starts to layer outward like a beautiful flower, well, you have to go through some things.
Yeah, you got to. Sometimes that flower has to be rooted in some manure.
It's
Seriously,
true. It's true.
Yeah, because manure is the best fertilizer.
And you know, we all go through this shift, and it's not that we stay at our elevation all the time.
And those people that say they are.
Okay, so I was thinking about this on the way here, and I would love to share, you know,
Please.
what's going on. But there, you know, that was the next phase for me. It was like, I'm going to do this. So leading up to the 3 years, and that spinal leak happened, I went for this is fascinating to me because when you think you're healing, and, you know, you're doing your journaling and you're, you know, doing meditations and all of it. And then all of a sudden you go to get an extra pain block. That's what happened to me. Because I was still in pain, sore. Yeah. And that night, I got a phone call, and it was the ex-boyfriend, you know. And at that time, you know, a little glass of wine next to the bed was okay, you know, it's been 3 years. And so, you know, feeling a little sappy. I start thinking about him. I get a text message. I hadn't spoken to this person in 3 years.
Wow.
So you see what's the lining up of all this.
You're like, she's going for it again.
Oh, she's going for it. And the angel guardians are like, roar, no, she has more to do on this planet instead of deal with that. And so, that's how I woke up in the hospital with like the worst pain ever, if you've ever had this.
I have not.
Yeah.
No,
is
I hadn't
worse than having 10 babies. I'm Octomom style. It was intense. I mean, I saw grass growing on the ceiling with the drugs they had given to me to relieve the pain.
That's pretty freaky.
Yeah, so the story goes, right? So you heal from these types of traumas, and then the layering starts coming. Then I started to really do the work. That's when my gifts began. The tapping, the sound wave frequencies, the colors, the attunement, the vibrational, all.
So is it kind of like Eddie, so who is a psychic, intuitive? So your intuitiveness opened up?
Oh yeah. How about this? So I used to pray over my water all the time, and I would send white light, but colors just based on the chakras. And I would get into this bath water, and I would think of it as if it was a baptism every time I would bathe, because it would be hot. I would throw salts in there. I would do a whole thing. I was not going down.
It was a ritual.
Yeah, you're
a ritual.
I was going to say you're like a ritual girl. I love it.
Oh yeah, and with my clients, I practice lots of rituals.
Good.
Yeah, it's good. So when I was in the bathroom one evening and sitting in the bathtub, all of a sudden, you know, guides lifted my hands. I don't know if this sounds freaky for the
No,
show.
No,
but
it's like this show?
This is what-
No.
people, you're going to get to know me.
It's called Truth Be Told for a reason.
Yes.
You know, the guides started lifting my hands and they started floating, so I allowed, you know, and I was relatively new to this type of thing, but I just went with the feeling and they would move them. And then they showed me how to go from chakra 1, and then it told me this guide, release sound. And then started going, and I was like, what? What? And I'm like, it's freaked me out.
You're like, what is it?
And then they said, it'll be okay. And then I relaxed and I, over chakra 1, released the sound again, you know, and I was like, oh, this is what those monks do.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, I have a nightlife background, so I understand beats and,
All right.
you know what I mean? I understand drums. And
Yeah.
But at that point, I had no idea. I mean, I'm going in this about 10 years now of like studying and practicing, and like really practicing about 7 years now. But man, that was enough. And then the tapping started, and then the rewiring started. Oh,
What's the
it's
tapping?
delicious. I get tapping. Like some people get, you know, the chills along their skin. Some people will have auditory experiences. I get visions and I get tapping. It's almost like Morse code.
And feeling, you get feelings.
I get feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I'm super
Yeah.
empathic. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even know what empath was until I met Eddie, and then I was like, "That's what I was going through all my life."
Yeah, and still are.
Yeah, and still are. Yeah.
You need a salt bath.
Yeah.
Will you run it for me?
Yeah, I'll run it for you.
Just don't dunk me over and hold me.
No,
under.
you know, I would go into places like IKEA, which, yeah, okay.
The 99-cent store.
Let's just grant. Well, what's the big furniture store off of Venice? Starts with a B. Butlers, or I don't
Sure.
know. Anyways, it's big.
Yeah, I live in Burbank.
So IKEA.
We'll use IKEA.
Anyways, so
She goes, poor thing, IKEA.
yeah,
I love
that
you.
place is a destroyer
I
of
know,
energy.
I know, girl.
But I do love the people who made up the idea. Sponsors. Sponsors.
My phone number is
really. No. They do have good initiatives on
Yeah,
the
they do.
CSR side. It's just clear. Received. So anyways, anywhere I would walk in, and I would have these big open ceilings, and I would get nauseous, and I'd get headaches, and I'd get vertigo, and I'm like, how come I can't go into these places? And then I started understanding more and more. And, you know, instead of like mom, when you're younger, just giving you a Pepto, if we would have just known, you know, oh, mom, I have a headache. If we would have just known.
Yeah, here's a Band-Aid for your train wreck. Here's another Band-Aid and a pill for your train wreck. Because nobody really knew. Well, being a boy that was sensitive in the South in the 60s, who was a sissy and an intuitive and gay, and wanted to be a dancer. You work in a textile mill and you'll shut up. And you start to think you're a little crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, because you can't understand why that is what it is. But mine was like Dramamine. Yeah. So how did you get from that to this?
I think it all hit after I stopped taking the medicine after the accident. I just realized, oh, the mayonnaise is causing my headaches. Duh. You know, because all these foods I started eliminating from my diet.
Don't say cookies.
I'm one of those holistic practitioners. I think you can have everything in moderation. Okay, folks?
Love that.
So come and see me.
That's
Eddie,
true. That's
I
true.
will
moderation.
placate with you.
Oh, God, that's good.
Yeah. It's
So,
fun.
so you had this car wreck. You went to hell in a handbasket. You had this intense pain, this deep, rich learning. You came out on the other side of it, and now you're doing the professional and personal development coaching. What's your highlight in that for you personally? What's your favorite part of what you do?
There's so many, because my one-on-one practice, I receive so much joy. It's really reciprocity, and I feel a little bit shameful sometimes charging for it, because I'm receiving so much from the experience with the client, and watching them unfold into who they think they are and who they're becoming, and it's constant. So the relationship starts to play back and forth, and I get to be their reflection in their mirror. But when they first come in, they don't know what to expect. They don't know if Zimbabwe is going to stand behind the door, or a Shakti mama, or a blonde princess. Who they don't know really what they're getting into. So some clients are a little bit scared.
Really?
Don't you love it when they say, "Oh my God, thank God you're normal"?
They do a lot. No, because religion has put us into such a place of fear that anything outside of that, I love my mother, but in all reality, she calls me a witch.
Does she really?
She's thrown crystals at me. She's not a bad woman. She just raised me to be an upstanding Christian woman. And, I'm sure this hurts her, and if she sees this or hears this, but the truth is we all came here under the same intention.
Yes.
And, we all have different levels of understanding, and I respect everybody's understanding. So whether it be a newcomer to spirituality, and I thank God we're in the age of consciousness, because it's getting easier for
Right, it is. No, it's so much better than 20, 25, 30 years ago.
Even 5 years ago.
Even 5 years ago.
Yeah, and in Los Angeles on top of that. And I love it because when you speak of your mother, I can feel that you love your mother. It just oozes off of you. But we're all in different places, and it's that's hard.
So to go back to your question, what's
your favorite?
What's the favorite? Oh man, well, teleportation. Teleportation. I had a client, and he should have been in my seat because he's a very powerful crystal child. And what I mean by crystal child is that he already is in a tuned state of consciousness, but he operates just above who he is as a being, as a human. So he's constantly working over here in the altered state, but he's in a human form. I don't know if that explains
it would totally make sense.
Okay. So when we went into a triangle mapping of crystal grid quartz, just sitting, I have a really great cozy room that I do this play in. And we just immediately, almost 2 minutes into it, just took flight. And then an hour had gone.
Whoa.
And we were playing in the same dimension, but not in this dimension. And that was really fun, and it was childlike, and it was playful, and it was giddy, and it was, we were just, tasting the stars, if you will. And then we came back in body, and then we discussed the experiences similar, but not the same.
Wow.
Yeah, but we were right in front of each other.
That's crazy. Now, when you see people, do you see auras and stuff like that, or do you have to get somewhat in a ritual first to kind of enhance that?
So it's a practice thing. So if you're a beginner at seeing auras, you can just stand anybody can see auras, guys. So if you want to just practice this step, just stand somebody in front of their a white wall, especially on a cloudy day, and you can see a little gray outlining. You'll see a little bit of white light, and then you'll see a little...
I can say that now around you.
Yeah. This is the beginning state. Then when you start doing breath or kundalini work, that's when I start to see colors around the being.
Oh, really?
So it might be a little weird just to walk up to a stranger and start going.
Hold on, I'm bringing.
I'll pay you to do that. Let's go on Hollywood Boulevard and see, and they'll be like crazy.
What's your?
Yeah, it'd be a little crazy.
Police.
Yeah. See, that's the fun stuff. I love things outside of the box, and especially when it comes from sincerity. What's your connection to trees?
Oh, I'm sorry to say this, but I'm not the tree hugging. No. I'm the celestial being star.
Yeah, but
I'm light sign.
Yeah, I didn't think you were a tree hugger for sure, and I'm not either. But there's a thing about trees with you, and I wonder what it is. And maybe it's something coming up, but it is big and it's strong.
So one of my ceremonies. Sacred medicine, because I do practice sacred medicine as well. And it was an ayahuasca ceremony. Ooh. And that was my first experience with the sacred tree, the sacred mother, or
That's it.
Divine.
Yeah, that is divine. You should make you some T-shirts.
I just, she showed me a lot of the earth. And then after having my second child, who is 15 months now, he would walk me around the neighborhood. And I would find myself hugging these trees and wanting to rub the leaves. Oh, I know what it is. It just got me.
What?
I was just in the rainforest, and I have a video of it. I have a video of it.
Eddie's good at this stuff, by the way.
Yeah, well, there was this fern leaf out of nowhere, and I'm not like this. This is my normal activity, called and spoke to me. And her and I just flooded, and we had a clearing, not just for me, but for
that is beautiful.
The humanity aspect of it.
In newsflash, ferns are directly connected to the fairy realm, which are connected to the earth and Pachamama.
Yes.
And the Apus, and of course the trees. So you've got some serious frequency going on there, girl. Oh, let me wear my sunglasses.
It's nice. Yeah, I can feel all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and my tapping is starting to. Yeah. When I say tapping, so I receive it here.
Oh, that's how. Okay, that's the tapping is.
No,
That's pretty fascinating.
I've worked with Lindsay.
Wagner.
Lindsay Wagner, and to do tapping, the ta 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 ta, and what it does is it gets the chi moving and a whole bunch of other stuff. I don't practice it like I should, but it was nice while I did. I'm wondering if part of the tapping, obviously, it's just them letting you know they're around, and then it also feels like
they're recalibrating my system because. I like getting all steamy. I operate in the world, and I operate in the spiritual mystical realm. And I'm extremely in love with being out of body.
Oh.
My challenge here on this planet, and it's less now than it's been before, has been to be in body. And then when I'm in body,
This is awesome.
I feel like there's a separation from spiritual Brandi. And it's really an interesting place to play. Now seeking balance, and I'm a Libra. That's an ongoing experience.
What's your rising and moon?
I just did this the other day. You would think I would know all this.
I know. That's what I mean. We're not typical these kinds of people.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
It's
Luna, if you're listening, send it to me. No, she's one of the practitioners that was just on the retreat in Alterna Vita that I just went, and I had 30 people in a circle. This retreat is phenomenal. You guys have to go. This is where the rainforest is, and this is a community who wants to do a full living quarters, off-grid kind of style.
Oh, there's going to be more and more of that.
Yeah.
I could see that myself, and I'm not even psychic.
I bet
Psychic, maybe.
I bet the tree is really about that grounding piece, because I was the same way. I was living from my heart chakra up, like in the stars, because I was really good at it, and people up there didn't hurt my feelings or my heart or my energy, and people down here seemed to. And so I had to keep doing things like barefoot in the grass and all that stuff. But I bet you that's part of what the tree is too for you too. You're gonna be on TV. You're gonna be on TV.
I'm ready. I'm ready. No, I'm absolutely ready. I've been, I just walked into Gower Studios, and I just, I had a moment of appreciation. There was this gentleman who had Cool Change Radio. Do you remember this guy? Cool Change Radio. Anyways, he passed away after my interview, and it was one of my first interviews. And from that moment until this moment, I've seen such a natural evolution. Yeah. And I've heard so many people go, "Oh, you're going to be on the stage. Oh, you're going to be here." Oh. And I'm prepared.
You are.
I'm prepared. There's lots of great stuff. Speaking of the UN was a big one for me.
Well, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, hold that thought, because we're going to take just a 15-second break, and I want to know about this UN, what you spoke about.
Yeah.
All right, so this is Truth Be Told with Tony and Eddie. I'm Tony Sweet.
I'm Eddie Connor.
And we're going to be back with more of Brandi Vale. Be right back. Today's show is sponsored by Adventures Unlimited Press. Take your mind on a literary journey and go to adventuresunlimitedpress.com to purchase books from our famed experts featured right here on Truth Be Told. That's adventuresunlimitedpress.com. Now, back to the show. Today's
Hey everybody, and welcome back to Truth Be Told with Tony and Eddie. I am Eddie Connor.
And I'm not. But I'm Tony Sweet.
That's right. We're here in studio with Brandi Vale, who is a professional and personal development coach and a public speaker. Now, her work is based in human energy output, matrix energetic fundamentals, Reiki, hello, integrative neuro-linguistic programming, as well as mental and emotional release therapy. And you spoke at the UN.
Yes, I did.
Girl, tell us more. Tell us more.
Yes.
I had the opportunity to speak at the UN after doing a series of events here in Hollywood called Grateful Fridays. And Grateful Fridays was conscious convergence in Hollywood nightlife.
Oh,
I told you earlier that I had a hard time like putting the two together, so I figured I would just do a party with some people in Hollywood. So I figured we'll make it trendy, we'll make it fun. So we had shamans, we had healers, we had massage therapists, we had artisans, we had the 3 acts of mind, body, and soul. So we had mind, which was workshops. Body, which was movement, ecstatic dance or yoga, and then soul, which was, music and electronic dance music.
Crazy.
So we had Jason Mraz open it up with Cafe Gratitude as one of our sponsors.
What?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
We didn't go small. Hollywood event producer. We didn't
My
say
soul
how
was
I
speaking.
evolved, but
Yeah.
that's my background, event production. So
Don't you love that all of that, which seems to have nothing to do with this world you're in now, isn't it fun to go back, and I'm sure you do this with your clients, girl, isn't it fun to go back and see everything they were interested in childhood, and then everything we did from high school plays to marching band, hello, I'm going to throw me a triple, bam, and win national championship, and all of that stuff, designer, artist, blah, 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 and then you're here with all of that as your foundation. And you're a ravenous, it seems to me, learner and studier and beer and doer and community builder. So luckily your foundation is nice and strong for where you're getting ready to go.
Yes,
And so you've really integrated this past. Most people don't like their past, but you did good.
yeah, it's fun. I've had these realities where, that's why this happened. Oh, that's why this happened. Especially when I first understood marketing. Marketing is a kind of a dangerous word.
Right.
But ultimately, marketing is a unifier, and it's sticky, and it brings information, and then the collectives together. So see how I can twist that one?
For the better.
For the ultimate good, right? If the messaging is there. When one of my guides told me as I started writing this whole program for how to move the audience to a greater purpose, which was what I spoke on at the UN, was remember that the framework is good. The overall framework is good. It's the context which lives inside the framework. So what that means is, we have this building, but however you want to design it is up to you. If you use bad materials, it will fail. If you use good materials, it will stand for a lifetime. So, what are we going to build our world with? And so the communication that I wanted to have with the UN was there's thousands and thousands of transformational festivals popping up off grid, and you have no access to them. So that was number one. Number two was look at Electric Daisy Carnival, EDC, look at Burning Man, 300,000, 80,000, Bonnaroo, Coachella, Lollapalooza, all these festivals. How are we going to move these people to a greater purpose? Any idea? ? So the idea was to bring crowdfunding, crowdsourcing, time banking, and an array of these models through technology and time currency. So that was really advanced for them. Just saying, I'm just saying. But now, 5 years later, actually it's 3 years now. 3 years later, what are we talking about, kids?
Yeah.
Time banking, crowdsourcing, crowdfunding. I mean, the list goes on. And the event I'm speaking at, I love this because everything's just on time. It is called Fest Forward.
Wow,
so it's
that's
all
so clever.
Glastonbury, Coachella, all the majors. Alice Cooper is going to be one of the keynotes. All the majors will be at this conference in Santa Barbara on November 22nd through the 24th. Aboutfest.com, just in case people want to know about it.
Good.
I just get the call, and I'm like, it's happening. So I get to talk. I get to speak to these people about how to use this technology to really integrate social currency and social good through their events. Because if we just go to parties and we just drink, consume, hurrah, it's fine. Totally fine for those people. It's not fine for me. It's not fine for a lot of the collective that I know is out there. And it's not fine for the environment.
No.
Right.
Or health, wealth, and wisdom. Like, let's party, but let's earn money while we're partying too.
Right.
Like, honestly, there's a way to do it.
It's called partypreneur.
Write that one down.
Yeah.
Partypreneur.
Yeah, that's what I called Paris Hilton back in 10 years ago. People were so mad at her.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care for her myself. But she literally built an entire empire on partying. Literally.
I like Paris Hilton.
Good.
I've had experiences with her, one-on-one experiences. Like
She was nice.
yeah, she was connected. Believe it or
Good.
not,
I love
it's a
that.
big facade. I don't want to give it away, but everybody does what
yeah.
they do for their
Oh, yeah.
enterprise. So in that vein, so is Jack Lee. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm karate guy. Actor.
Jackie Chan?
Jackie Chan.
Oh, yeah.
I was with Jackie Chan. The same thing. Super intelligent, super connected.
People love him.
You know, Get Connected. The show is about getting connected to self, getting connected to others, but it's also about like how we're connected in the world. Right?
Wow.
How are we connected in our business?
Right.
How do we connect with our family and our friends and our local economy or our neighbors? So Get Connected, the show that how we are connected,
Right.
was really well thought out, received from the higher guidance, but really well thought out because the information that comes through is utter channeling when I'm recording it.
Well, let's talk about your show, Get Connected, on talknetwork.com.
Yeah.
How did it come around? How were you kind of seeking a place to go, or did they say we saw you speak somewhere, or how did it happen?
I was how was I doing this? Okay, so I was supporting a festival in Palm Springs a couple years ago. It called AM/FM Festival. You guys know it?
I haven't heard of it. I should check it out. Does it still go?
Yes, so they are producing still. And one of the producers introduced me to Dean.
Love Dean Ryan.
Yeah, he's a great guy. And Dean and I, we had an immediate click because he was a little bit in the darker media side,
right.
and I'm not at all on the darker media side, but I thought it was fascinating. And he wanted to interview me because I was working with the newer concepts, right? Social currency, community currencies, Bitcoin, and these newer ideas that weren't even
Really
spoken of
talked
3
about
years
much.
ago. Yeah.
It did. Bitcoin even just kind of came out of nowhere.
And as soon as the visionary aspect of how I see these coming through, it works only with crowds. Do you know what I mean? Because if one person's using it, it doesn't go anywhere.
yeah.
You cannot have a decentralized banking system with one person.
Right.
Let's just be clear.
It sounds good on paper.
Yeah,
but
looks good.
Yeah.
It's not going to work.
Yeah.
I know right now, blockchain is just announcing some new stuff, which is great. But that's how I got involved. You know, getting involved in Talk Network. They came to me and said, "Oh, we know you're into currencies," and I'm like, I don't know if I just want to go down that route. You know, because that's going into that shadow.
Yeah.
And I recognized who was approaching me on the PR side, and I was like, oh, thank you. No, thank you. Not right now.
Yeah.
And then I realized that this is deeper. This is more of a social movement.
Right.
And Talk Network, they're brand new, so I can see the light. They have some great shows.
Some great shows. I mean, very talented experts on there.
Yeah. A Ranger, is it Ranger Bob? Is it Ranger?
I think.
The Health Ranger.
Yeah, the
I don't know
Health
why I want to call him
yeah.
Bob, but the Health
Mike.
Ranger. Mm-hmm. And
Mike
then,
Adams.
there's some great shows on there. I haven't had a whole lot of time to listen in, but
Yeah, that's the thing about this show. We get both. We can go to the darker media, and then we also have that would be more my side. And then Eddie does the more lighter sides of the
Whenever he has like the
well, we had the
satanic
priest of the Church of Satan. Yeah,
I was like,
I bet my mom loves that.
I'll be
right
in
now.
Michigan.
She's watching.
Right.
Yeah, I know.
Well, my thing is, I find it fascinating because I'm a Sagittarius. I'm a seeker of truth, and I love to see both sides.
Yeah, I like to see both sides.
Yeah, it's not that I
like
believe in
we're
it. It's not that I follow it. It's just I like to know because I think if you know about something, then it gives you a reason to find the truth for yourself.
Which is the opposite
where
of
the title come from
No, because
network.
you're on a journalism standpoint, and I'm an active observer.
Right.
Right. So if I'm an active participant, which I don't really care to be a participant. I just want to observe and receive and reflect. That's kind of what I'm here for.
Right.
When I'm a participant, it's because I'm creating it.
Right.
That's the only time. That's called leadership. And I don't want to toot my own horn, but I'm not a good follower. at all.
That's good.
I'm not either.
That's why you would
never
have
was.
lived in the Poseidon Adventure.
I even think about getting a regular job. I'm
Yeah.
just like,
I had all of that.
No,
Not for 20 years,
I was
but I
never
had
a
it.
good follower.
Yeah.
Never.
No.
I even in high school, I was the president of my class all 6 years from the junior high to high school because I was like, oh.
You know, when you're an active observer, you get to see really what's going on. When you're engaged in emotion, you're engaged in your own leaping over somebody
Right.
else's words, and you know, you're not hearing anything. You're
What?
not hearing their message. Huh?
What?
What did you say? Are you still talking? Hold on, I gotta make a phone call.
Yeah, excuse me. It wasn't about me.
No, you know, energetically, they're the first person in front of you bringing you another density of information about you. So who are you to tell them about you? It just doesn't, I don't know. And if there's craziness going on around me, I have to really observe that. Like, am I creating all this?
Yeah.
So what's your answer to that?
Do I believe that I'm creating craziness around me? Oh, of course. Or it wouldn't be that close to my my energetic field.
Yeah, I was curious. That's my stance too. If like I saw 3 car wrecks today. Now my mom, who's over there, she's like Edward, Edward, and so I was like, I got it. Then car wreck. I'm like, okay, I really got it this time
Yeah.
because you just do. But the observer part. How many years were you an observer, a studious observer of people's patterns? And then now you're so knowledgeable in identifying people's patterns, it freaks them out.
Well, I was really, really comfortable with it until I took my NLP courses. and then that even gets even more detailed about neurolinguistics programming and how we function on our body and unconscious to conscious and languaging. And I went, oh man, I thought I was a natural at this. It's a whole different science.
Yeah.
I love it, but it's not, I would say it's not innate.
It's left brain, right?
It's left brain, right?
Yeah.
Right? You're trying to go back to that right brain.
Yeah, I love the right brain. I'm in the stars.
No,
What? 2 + 2 is 12?
But it really does balance communication.
Yes.
And it gives you proof. And people like proof.
We love proof.
I use a pendulum when I do my first session.
Really? Why just
Is
the
you
first?
crazy? No, is that, I love that you do that.
Yeah. And I also bring out my book, my school book, because they want to see it in black and white. They send it to it, and they want to see it's interesting. They're, oh, wow, that's exactly right. I mean, because there is a science behind it, but then you go deeper, and then that's the stuff that's not in the book, and that's not what's showing up in that one circle going right or left. You know, there's many different avenues of that.
One of the things I love about reality television, I promise this is about you. One of the things I love about reality television is I love to sit and watch like couples therapy. Right now I'm hooked in. And you'll see this one couple and people perceive, let's say, this particular guy in the couple with the man and the woman as the power person, the leader, the manipulator, the interrogator. And you're sitting back, you're like, oh, no. Miss Thing is in full control here. Pay attention, people. And so when they see themselves later, for the reunion show, and then they go, no, I was edited to look like a big old scary bitch. And it's like, no. How many times have you helped empowered people to see their true pattern, not the thing they present to the world, and then they're like, no. How long does it take them to let that piece in so that they can change it?
I'll be honest with you. I have a motherly, people say I'm motherly to them. And so they immediately feel comfortable. And so when I'm doing the work, they tend to just break down right away.
That's good.
I would say that I'm 100% all the time where people just own it.
That's good.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not card reading on the side of the road where people are, so it's a little, if you're walking into the house is completely blessed where I serve.
Yes.
I do crystal mapping. I sage. I'm doing ceremony before the client arrives. It's a full hour of, tuning into what they're already going to say. I pretty much already know the session before they arrive. The crystals are already pointing in what direction they need to lay onto the floor. So when the client arrives, I'm already having that full story. And it's fun because the first session is really about them becoming educated. You know, there's a practice, right?
Yeah.
And so if people understand the practice in the beginning, then they have less fear.
Yes.
So being clear with them what's going to happen is very important. First, I'm going to sit you down, give you some tea, you know. So you do a step by step. Now, on the second session, I mean, if I'm speaking in tongues or if I'm channeling and they might get a little weirded out, but I let them know if I start speaking in a different, you know, humming situation.
Yeah.
You know, it's a little bit different. It's not, you don't expect that from me because I'm very, you know, airy and bubbly. But if I start going into deep voices, it might be a little bit freaky.
They're like, what is your problem here?
You know, but I love when I see a person just all the tears start coming, the laughter, the you know, the hysterical, not fear, but the, you know, the shaking, and just because they're leaving, whatever's in their body is leaving.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen clients get up onto the bed, you know, in full growl position, and you know, being a Christian,
You're like,
right? Being a Christian
it's
background,
the devil.
I was like, don't fear it. You know? I was like, no, just chill, just hold space, and you know, then it just out the window.
Well, unfortunately, our time is up.
Oh my Lord.
I know. It went so fast, and you're going to have to come back.
Yay.
That's a must. So people can find you. Please tell us your website.
Yeah.
Are you going to be speaking anywhere soon? And when is your radio show?
Yes, so Saturdays for Talk Network, which is talknetwork.com. You can go there at Saturday at 1 o'clock Pacific Standard Time or 4 p.m. Eastern. I do coaching here in Los Angeles, so if you guys are here, please hit me up, send me an email. You can do that at Brandi, BrandiVeil.com. Just fill out that little form. If you're interested in a coaching session, I am, for UBN Radio TV, doing some free 30-minute sessions online.
That's nice.
So
Use
let
it.
me know.
Yeah, use it. You guys better use it. And we are so honored to have you here. You're so beautiful inside and out.
Thank you.
And I wish you all the best. But again, you're going to be coming back. Maybe you can co-host with us sometime. Or
Oh, yeah, you would
Yeah,
be so
uh,
much
I'll bring
fun.
my sound machines.
Oh,
I thought you were going to say your pom-poms or
I have
something.
I thought you were saying
I've
Your
confetti
shaman.
poppers.
Yeah. And make sure you tune in every Friday here on UBN Radio for Truth Be Told with Tony and Eddie. Check us out on YouTube channel at Truth Be Told with Tony and Eddie. Go to our podcast. You can see, watch us or listen to us on iTunes, Stitcher, TuneIn, and now iHeartRadio. We want to thank them for being accepting us, and it's doing amazing. So until then, we thank you so much for you guys tuning in. And Eddie, are you ready to get out of here?
Yes.
All right. I'm Tony Sweet.
I'm Eddie Connor.
You're listening to Truth Be Told on UBN Radio. All right, we're out of here. Have a great weekend. Stick around for Shar Vision with Shar Margolis. It's going to be a great show.